Second verse.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a chance to finish your sentence.
Just lock me off quick. But you see, like you were saying about how we're moaning about how the system's failing us and everything else, and you know, like the education system with our kids, right? Now, for me, looking at things, right, I think for many people, right, they're realizing that, you know what, we need to be giving our narrative to our children more, but they're not necessarily equipped or have the tools to be able to do so. Yeah. So when we've looked at some of the great stuff that took place, you know, your 10, 20, 30 years ago, we're talking about the great things like the Saturday schools and you know, I mean, and the teachings. These are the things that I know yourself has benefited from. You know what I mean? So when I look at that, I think this is the bit where, in terms of like moving forward as perhaps our business model. I know you and I have kind of spoken about this already. You know, I think this is where it really comes in, because people have recognized the need. Yeah, more so during lockdown. All right, but they don't quite know how to go about it. Do you know what I mean? And also the other thing I wanted to bring up was, you know, there's been these petitions going around about teach black education in schools, in mainstream schools. Bonnet, I'm not a fan of it.
Well,
I'll tell you straight, I'm not a fan of it because I don't believe we should be leaving anybody to be teaching our children about our history. I just don't believe it.
I agree with you, but for me, I guess I don't know. It's a kind of I guess I kind of contradict myself, because initially I signed the petition not because I actually feel like black history should be taught in schools by white teachers, but because out of principle, supporting a black woman with a cause which can't really do any harm. You understand what I mean?
I'm with you.
Just like in the same respect that I will probably go into a black shop and buy something that I don't necessarily really want, but out of principle, I want to support you. So out of that principle, I did sign the petition. But personally, do I want Mr. Smith teaching my youth about African history? What conviction is Mr. Smith going to be teaching? Employ people from the community.
Frozen.
You know, I'm not. I'm good. I'm here.
KUSH, I think your signal. Bear with me, guys. This is the problem with live streaming. Yeah, you cut out for a minute there, KUSH.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, where did I stop?
I think you were talking about Mr. Smith.
Yes, I was like, although, like I said, although I did sign a petition out of principle of supporting a sister that, you know, was starting this movement, do I want Mr. Smith teaching my child black history?
Yes.
And okay, maybe Mr. Smith, you know, argument's sake, has the qualifications to teach history. What conviction is he going to be teaching this with? You know what I mean? Yes. Me personally, I'd rather you teach my child black history. You know what I mean? I'd rather Liz teach my child black history. I'd rather teach my child black history myself. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or if I feel like I'm not equipped, I don't have the language or skills, I'd rather find somebody within my own community to do that, personally speaking. All right?
Yes.
But again, just like I said, in the same way that I'd probably go into a black shop and buy something that I probably don't particularly really need, but to support it is in the way that I supported the petition. That's not to say that everything black I'm going to jump on either. There still has to be some kind of purpose behind it. You know what I mean? It's not just, oh, there's a black stage trying it. There still has to be, you know what I mean, something behind it. So that's where I am with that. We don't need the schools to teach our children black history. You know what I mean? We need to support the Saturday schools that are out there, like Children of the Sun, that's down at Broadway School on Saturdays, for example. And another way that OBU, one of our other missions as well, is almost to work as like an umbrella, like a hub, almost like, you know, a Black Citizens Advice. So, you know, if there is, maybe there's a Saturday school in Wolverhampton that nobody knows about, then every member of OBU should be shining, you know, we should be shining a light on that Saturday school and saying, oh, look, do you know about this one over in Wolverhampton? There's one in Handsworth as well, or there's one over there. Oh, you don't drive? We've got a community van. We can pick up your children. You understand? You see how everything just kind of works. You know, we've had this lockdown. You know what I mean? There's so much services that we need that are specific to us. You know, how much of us needed little yam and banana, couldn't get out? How much of us needed medication and couldn't get out? You know what I mean? So there's things in the community that we need to address. We have the ability to address them. We have the resources. We have the funds. What we don't have, or what we haven't had up until now, is the commitment and the numbers, and the consistency. And these are the things that we need to thrive. Otherwise, it just can't happen. There's no other way to go around it.
Yes. No, you're right. And you know what? Again, it just goes to say, you know, I've seen so many messages popping up about different schools, different clubs, different organizations that are doing their bits collectively. But it's about how much people are actually supporting that. How much,
exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's
and all these clubs or all these people who are part of OBU, for example, like you've got a mass number of people. Right now we have like a mailing list, and we're mailing out stuff, and we've got over like 700 people on this mailing list. Imagine if all those people were members. Imagine if 700 people paying £5 a month.
Wow.
That's £3,500 a month. Can you imagine that by the end of the year? What we'd be able to do? Yes. That building will be ready in no time. You know what I mean? We could buy a function hall. We could have several community. You know what I mean? We could have our own hospital. Could have our own hostel. Could have our own school, residential school. You understand what I mean? Our own community garden. All these kind of things. We could have that.
And you know what? Week on week, there's been this common thing that keeps popping up about representation and having our own. And you know what? If anything that this coronavirus has shown, I think not just ourselves but also the system, is that we don't trust the system. NHS,
exactly.
Are you right?
Exactly.
What's that talk about? What's that talk about? What they're gonna trial run coronavirus?
Because they always take us as guinea pigs, don't they? They've been doing that from Wappy Kill Phillip. You know what I mean? They're always testing stuff on us, with or without our knowledge. You know, presenting this thing as something free, something great. You know what I mean? But they always want to test stuff on us because we got because of our genes and our DNA. They're still fascinated with us. They still want to know how we're so resilient from the inside out, not even physically, but you know what I mean, physiology as well. They want to know how we're so resilient and these kind of things. You know what I mean? So we should be having events. We should be having, safe spaces to discuss these kind of things. I'm even reluctant to get into too much detail here because you don't know who's watching. And part of this as well is having to protect ourselves. You know what I mean? Having to kind of filter. You know what I mean? Having to, it's hard to identify who the infiltrators are because they often look like you and I, where the most red, black and green, got the biggest fist. So you don't know who's who. You know what I mean? Go on, sorry.
I was just gonna say, and that's the reality, and that's why we need all sorts of advice. How do we navigate when we're faced with all these sort of things? You know what? Let me get the phone to OBU and see what they're saying. Do you know what I mean?
And the idea is that we're able to signpost you. So whichever part of the society, whichever issue that you're having, when you come to OBU, if you're not a member, we should be able to say, oh, you know what? We know this person over here. Oh, yeah, we've got lawyers, you know what I mean? We've got solicitors, we've got whatever, you know what I mean? we should be that hub for that. We should all be connected, if by nothing else, by the fact that we're part of one organization. So when one person gets information, we all get it. You understand what I mean? When one person finds this loophole, we all find out about it. When this legislation changes and it's going to affect all of us, we all know about it. When that Saturday school over there opens, you know, when the new business opens, when the new shop opens, we all know about it. We all support it. You know, that is the idea. So that's where we're at. That's our mission. One thing we have done in anticipation of the rush of members we're going to get tonight, we have done. We've got a Zoom meeting that we've put together, which will be for next week, Friday, the 3rd of July. That meeting will be for anybody who's listened tonight who wants to ask more questions, wants to get involved, wants to contribute an idea, a thought, resources, whatever. You know, that is an opportunity for you. You know, we can get a bit in depth. Again, we'll be able to see who's there as well. So that's on the 3rd of July. If anybody's interested in being part of that meeting, if you go on our Insta page or on our website, there's a link to Eventbrite, and that's basically just to register your interest, and then we'll email you like the code and all that. We're not just gonna put it online and then, like I say, anybody trolls, anybody can come in. So if there's anybody that's listening that thinks, yeah, maybe I still want to know this, or want to ask this, or want to ask that, the opportunity is there next week Friday. We're gonna have a Zoom meeting. Yeah, so if you register for that, one of us will get back to you. So you know what I mean? That's the opportunity for you to bring your comments, questions, or suggestions.
That's it. So we're not taking any questions, but really that's the call to action. The call to action is the 3rd of July. So add OBU Birmingham on Instagram, and then you will know what's going on. Yeah, you'll be able to have a look and see. Yeah.
You can meet board member. Well, you should be able to meet at least for the. I don't think we're going to get Alder Marcel on the Zoom, but I think the rest of us can try and make ourselves available.
Yes.
You know? Like I said, just to put some faces to us as well. Yes. You know, and like to answer any questions, any queries. You know, quash any rumors. You never know. You know, sometimes you don't know what's out there. So, you know, whatever questions and concerns or whatever people have, it's an opportunity for you, you know, to come and say what you think. You know, in the immediate sense, you know, I'm going to do an immediate community call for, we need a gardener for the building, you know, because a couple of years ago we had a big garden clear out. Appreciate all the people that turned out for that. Well, you know, weeds grow, you know, so an immediate call for a gardener, someone that can come and like landscape, sort out the back, with the view of being a regular person to come and do that. Sure. That's in the immediate sense. Another thing that we need to get a sign up. Yes, we want Marcus Garvey Education Centre, or the Garvey Education Centre. We need that done. So anybody that can do signage, that knows anybody that does that. What else do we need? I did write it down. Hold on, let me look at my notes. Give me a minute. What else do we need? They're probably screaming at me now through the thing. Yeah, so as well, we're looking to officially do like the grand opening of the Garvey Education Centre, the ground floor, on August the 17th, of course. Like, why else not? You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, Papa Garvey's birthday. It is a Monday. Don't business. We're not doing it on a weekend for no convenience. That is the day that the building is going to be officially open. So the call to the gardener, the call to the person who can do a sign for the front, that's the date that we're working towards. We do have some funds. Yeah, I believe so. You know, but obviously, you know, yeah, we're just trying to get everything as cost efficient as possible. So those are 2 immediate calls. We need a gardener and somebody to do to do our sign. We do obviously sometimes you have to state the obvious, but the principle is we only take people from our community, you know, and trying to maintain that principle has worked, you know, has been disadvantage, you know, it's been like, has worked against us. Yeah, challenging. Yeah. For want of a better term, it's been quite challenging, but you know, the principle remains. So yes, we are whoever does our work, the whole building has been like reconstructed for members of our own community.
Beautiful.
And that's the principle we're sticking by.
And for me, you know what, that's a great model, because I remember back in the day going on the 70s bus down Soho Road, right, and watching them lick down the temple. Yeah. And I seen all the elder Sikh men, yeah, elderly Sikh men licking down the building, yeah, for reconstruction. So they so they demolished it themselves, they funded it themselves, they fed it themselves. Do you know what I mean? And they made it happen themselves. So you know what? It's nothing. There's nothing like overly radical, really. It's just common sense. It's what all communities do. Be it Jewish, be it Muslim, be it Muslim Somali, be it Muslim. It doesn't matter. Sikhs do it. You know, Hindu communities do it. They all do it. You know what I mean? So there's you know, we talk about radical. Is it really? It's just common sense.
Basically, you know what I mean? I mean, to them it's radical. You know what I mean? To the system it's radical, but they ain't seen radical yet. This ain't radical. It's
only radical because it's us.
Say that again?
Is it only radical because it's us?
Of course.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just like our you know, black couples are radical. You know what I mean? Everything we do is radical. Our hair is radical. Our speech is radical. Our dress is radical. You understand what I mean? Our resistance is radical. Everything about us is. You know what I mean? So it's inherent to us. So, and again, they always, you know, the system always tries to, I guess, I don't know, you know, they're trying to hype up the things that we do. Like I said, like they don't do it. They've been building up their system and supporting themselves for years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It only becomes a thing, you know what I mean, when we do it, or it only becomes revolutionary when we do it, where other communities have been protecting themselves for years, and so they should. You know what I mean? So they should. But so we should as well. So we should as well.
Kush, all I can say is thank you. Yeah. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we kind of like wrap it up?
No. Just again, I'm going to reiterate. Yes, I'm here advocating for OBU because that's my baby. It's my heart. You know what I mean? But if OBU is not for you, that is absolutely fine. Find an organization that is for you, or start an organization so that you can be the one in charge if that's where your mind is. You know what I mean? But this thing cannot work without people. That's just, you know, that's just the very nature of it. You know, I want to, you know, Haile Selassie says, you know, any plan without the right people to execute it is merely a plan on paper. Yeah. Marcus Garvey says, organize or perish. You know what I mean? With these, our greats have been speaking to us for years about this. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying all these words that I'm uttering, I just feel like I'm regurgitating words that have been, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying anything new. I'm not saying that, you know, the organization is you know, organizing is something that is new. But right now, right here, yeah, there's a call to action. The platform is here. Yes. The resources are here. We just need people. You know what I mean? We need people. We need your skills. We're ready. And if you join and you feel like, they should be doing this or they should be doing that, or why aren't they doing that? Come and bring your suggestions. Yes. Come and show us how to do it. We're open. You know what I'm saying? This is our organization. And when I say our, the big our, everybody's. You know what I mean? So if you feel like we could be doing this, that, or that better, come and do it then. You know what I mean? Come and show us. Come and bring your ideas. You know what I mean? But if you're going to come with something to challenge, if you're going to challenge something, please do come with a solution as well.
Yes.
Please do come with a solution, because you do have people that have a problem for every solution. You know what I mean? We're more like solution focused. Yes. If you're going to come with something, or you think you don't like the way we do that, or you don't like that, please then have something to add and contribute. And that's all I have to say.
That's good. So the skills amnesty, right? You remember I said this to you before, the skills amnesty, there's so much skills, knowledge, and things that we can contribute. If it's not the £60 membership, which you know, you get a wealth of support and knowing that, you know, it's there. So when people are talking about, boy, we need what we need is our building, or we need a center, or we need this, or we need that, it's there.
It's there, exactly.
It's
there. 97 to 99 Linwood Road, it is there. So again, next week, go on our website or on our Insta page. There's a link to Eventbrite where you can register your interest in being part of that Zoom meeting next Friday. Yeah. And then you're sometime on Friday, we'll send the code out to that, you know what I mean? So that you can join. It's an opportunity for you to ask questions, and we just take it from there.
Thank you very much, KUSH, for joining us. Thank you very much, OBU. Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. All right, this will be uploaded to YouTube, to social media. It will be added onto a podcast as well. So that's how technical we've got. So yes, we're going to be doing this, and we're going to be sharing this. So please tag somebody into this. All right. And again, thank you very much for coming and sharing. And you know, we've got something planned for the future as well, don't you?
Of course.
Yes.
That goes without saying, Bridget. It goes without saying. All right, thank you to everybody that stayed listening. Hope, you know, I was able to articulate myself in a way that speaks to you. You know, if not, you'd hear some other voices next Friday, you know. So the people that I'm talking to understood me, you know.
We did.
If it didn't resonate with me, maybe when you hear Kayinde speak, he might touch a different nerve. Maybe you might hear Nicole speak, and he might touch a different nerve. So, yes. So it go. You know what I mean?
Bless it. Okay. Thank you very much. Look after you. Take care, everybody. See you later. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.